Hey YouTube, welcome back to another Lucky Man survival video.
We are here in beautiful southern Utah and it is cold as hell outside. We have about 31 degrees Fahrenheit today, and we're going to be talking about the winter Greyman. Things that you can do to add to your EDC and things that you're doing in your day-to-day life, especially during those colder months, that you can do that, you don't want to go around looking like a lumberjack like Parker. He literally wore this to tell you what not to do, even though this is what he wears every day. But we have we have a few things today that we're going to be talking about of how to not only get us more prepared during those winter months, but little things that we can do to our clothing, our outfits, things that we can carry on us that can help us out with those little bit of a colder times that we're going to be dealing with.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that you know how to stay warm and stay as minimalist as possible generally.
Yep. Now, some of the fun things about winter is, one, everyone is going to be wearing layers. Now, some of the things, now I'm not going to show any firearms in this specific thing, but you can wear heavier clothing with overlays, which allows you to carry bigger firearms. I know for a lot of you guys, you want to be more minimalist with your firearms because you don't want to print as much. Now with me, I usually carry a Glock 43 or a Smith & Wesson Shield, something that's a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact. But when the winter months are here, I can wear a Glock 19, I can wear a full-size 1911, things like that you can kind of add to your everyday carry that's not going to be as impeding during the winter months as they will be in the summer months. Now, another thing I want to touch on is some of the layers that you can do that allow you to stay warmer, but also give you much more capability. Now, during the winter months, we all wear, shorts and stuff like that. But during the winter months, like I have now, why we're talking about winter Greyman and why we're doing things like that is because, as you can see, I'm wearing all gray today, and I did that kind of on purpose to show you some of the things you can add to your clothing items that can help you on a day-to-day basis. So the first thing I'm going to cover is wearing pants that have more pockets, more capability for EDC, and being able to carry things like, so for me, what I carry during the winter months, I have a full-sized handgun, I have a spare magazine, I have my wallet, I always carry a pair of gloves as well, always have my phone and stuff, but there's some extra things that I like to carry around during the winter months, especially because, especially on the West Coast where we live, we have to deal with sundown much earlier than most people. So I usually carry around a headlamp. Something that I add to my everyday carry during those winter months is something like a Zippo. Now, a Bic lighter is something that is good, but if you've ever left a lighter outside overnight, you learn really quickly that it's hard to spark. But with a Zippo, because it is a fuel that does not ember up, this will always work even in those colder climates. That, on the other hand, you might have a little bit more harder problems because of the plastic, the springs, even the flint inside there. So Zippos are a little bit one of those items that you want to add to your EDC during the winter months because it can improve that.
Now we're going to switch over to a different camera angle so we can show you what we have here and explain what they do for you and how you can store them and use them.
Absolutely. All right, guys, so some of the things that we're going to talk about are some of the bigger items that you can carry on you that might assist you with more winter survival stuff. So the first thing that I always do when winter time comes is I always get into a bigger pocket knife that I carry on a day-to-day basis. I usually carry a Western Tech Honey Badger, which is about this big in comparison to this one. This Gerber Pledge is a lot bigger and a little bit more capable during the winter months, and I always carry around a full tang knife as well. But this allows me to carry around something a little bit bigger because I'm wearing pants, not shorts, and something that I can kind of improve on. Another thing is I always want to upgrade my socks. Now, you can ask anyone in the military, socks are such a big issue. So I always try to get the merino wool socks, something that's a little bit thicker, heavier, something that's going to really keep your feet warm and improve your day-to-day life when you're wearing, snow boots or cowboy boots for some of you guys out there. This is going to be an improvement of your day-to-day socks. Another thing you can do is you can wear a layering system So this is a base layer from Mossy Oak, and now we're not, supporting any of these ones. We're just kind of giving you guys some ideas. So the one that I'm wearing here is also a base layer as well, but you can wear things like real camo, or you can go into the regular men's section at Walmart or some of your, stores like Ross and find base layers that are performance for thermals that can keep you a little bit warmer, but you're not impeding on your day-to-day outfits. Another thing you can carry around with you, whether it's in your vehicle or on your person, is something like hot hands. Super warmer hot hands. They have 18 hours of heat. These things are such an amazing addition to your day-to-day life. Something that I do add extra with my EDC is a headlamp. Now, as you guys know, I'm the flashlight guy, so I usually have a secondary as well, something that I can have, handheld, but with it being so cold at night or with heavy winters, you start to lose that daylight a lot faster. You want to have that additional setting that you can have for hands-free, especially if you have to fix a downed tree or shovel snow. That is a good addition. Now, another thing that I wear and I have on me every day is a pair of gloves. Now, these are 511 tactical gloves, which I love this brand. Texturing is great, but something just to keep your hands warm. You can always improve your size of gloves that you wear, but for me, I'm definitely going to want to go with something a little bit thinner that's going to help me with, grabbing things, touching cold doors, whatever. And these are protective enough where I can handle firewood, hot doors, hot pans, pots, whatever, when I'm in the field. These will help me out immensely. Now, if I'm doing an overnight camping trip or if I'm in my truck, you are going to know that I'm going to have thicker gloves on me, but this is what's going to be in my pocket folded up every day. Now, another thing, obviously you're not going to carry this around with you unless you're me, but I always add a medical kit to my EDC that really helps, especially because during the wintertime you have more accidents, you have a higher chance of running into issues with getting cut and hurt because your body is so cold it doesn't feel those things. I can't tell you how many times I come home and I just got random cuts on my hands and people are like, what's going on? So you always want to try to improve your medical, because if you get in a car accident, you find another person in a car accident, this is something that can really help out with that. And again, like I said, improving your lighter for the winter months as well. Yes, that is the king right there, John Wayne. But these are just some ideas on how to improve your day-to-day life. Now, we're gonna pan back over to me and what I'm wearing today, just to kind of go over some of the additional things I wear to improve my everyday carry and my everyday clothing options, so that we can kind of improve on that. All right, guys, we'll see you in a minute.
All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about what we're wearing and how it's helping us keep warm. We're gonna go ahead and start with John here.
So some of the layers and things that I add. So first thing I do is during the winter months, I usually layer up. So I have a light thermal underneath here. Then I have the layered thermal here. Now this is just a small under base layer thing. Now again, like I said, I try to wear the gray thing since we're talking about winter Greyman today, and things you can add to your clothing that aren't gonna make you pop out in public, but things that can improve your everyday temperatures. So I always wear some sort of base layer. Might be a thermal, might be long johns. It doesn't matter if you're wearing an overshirt. Most people wear that. That is a standard clothing pattern that people wear out in public. So you're gonna see guys all the time with long johns with a t-shirt on, or maybe a flannel, just like him. So you're gonna have people that are wearing layers. The top part isn't really a big addition, but one thing that I do recommend, especially for those Second Amendment people out there, is wearing something where you can convert your clothing, and being able to wear something of bigger size, being able to carry a spare magazine that, a lot of people have the 6 o'clock position where they like the appendix carry, but they hate wearing that spare magazine. During winter months, I always like to go on the 4 o'clock position, have a spare mag, and most people don't even know. My wife is always laughing because she'll go, I didn't even know you were carrying that. That is what I like to hear when it comes to wearing EDC and actually having a firearm on me. Now, another thing that I wear is I try to go for pants that are going to be modular for me. Being able to have side panel pockets, cargo pockets, back pockets, even the little niche pockets. Now, these ones are the Ozark Trail ones that you can get at Walmart. These are just some of the most comfortable pants I've worn. They're cheap, they're durable. I have pairs that I've owned for years and years. They don't have any rips, tears, but they are insulated a little bit better than most pants. So they're still light and durable, but I'm still never really cold while wearing them. And they are wick resistant, so they kind of push off, you know, water, snow, stuff like that. So I'm not worried about having sopping wet jeans when I can wear something like this. So improving your pants, improving your layers in that way. Another thing that I wear, now obviously I'm not going to strip for you guys, none of you have bought me dinner yet, but I'm wearing a pair of long johns underneath my pants. Now this is going to allow me to keep my legs warm. I can tuck them into my boots, and it improves just my body regulation and temperatures, because when you're out in public, if you're leaving your home, you need to be wearing the proper clothing. You know, if you're going to a party and you're wearing a dress or you're wearing a suit, have an extra pair of boots in your car with some wool socks in case your car breaks down and you have to walk. You're going to want to wear have a heavier jacket. If you take it off in the car, that's fine, but you want to have access to that clothing just in case something happens and you get stuck being out in the elements. You know, right now, you know, we're a little chilly right now and it's 31 degrees. In places like Colorado or things like that, it gets much, much colder during the day. You might have negative temperatures during the day. So imagine how cold it gets at night. So you always want to make sure that you have things on you in your vehicle that can kind of give you extra layers. Now, another thing that I always do is I always improve my shoe wear. Now, I am wearing the Dickies steel-toed hiker's boots. Now, these have thick tread on them, really hardened tread, with small little metal steel indents on the bottom of it. This allows me to not worry about slipping in the snow. So, you know, me and him had to walk down a little bit of a trail here to get to the location we're at. He wears, you know, cowboy boots, something that has a heavy heel that has the actual engravings and the thick tread on the bottom. So you have to improve your footwear. You don't want to be wearing sneakers in the wintertime. You will slip, fall, bust your ass. We will laugh at you, and that's okay.
So next we're going to go ahead and talk about what I'm doing and what I'm wearing to keep myself a little bit more warm in these winter months. So as you can obviously see, I'm wearing a flannel, but it's not one of those thick flannels. This is just one of those nice little fleece lined flannels. You can get them on Amazon. I think they cost about $20-something. Yeah. They're really cheap. I am wearing the black shirt I always wear. It's not the same black shirt, I promise. I just get packs of black shirts. As well as I'm actually wearing a pair of the thick winter socks that we got. I got them recently because I went up snowboarding and needed something a little bit more thicker.
Yeah, I'm wearing those too. So.
Yeah. Also, I'm just wearing my normal stuff. I do have a thermal, like, short thing under this, under my jeans. I wouldn't really recommend jeans if you get cold easily. These do not keep the heat in at all. But for me, it's pretty fine. I'm not the guy that gets too cold.
Yeah, we really don't deal with a lot of really cold temperatures out here in comparison to what you can get in other places.
Some things I do recommend is if you're in a survival, camping, even just winter hiking scenario. As you can hear, we have a stream behind us.
Which that water, we actually brought a thermometer and tested the water. It's cold. 15 degrees in that water right now.
So if you're gonna be doing some hiking or some kind of trekking in the snow in the winter months, even if there's not snow on the ground, the water's still pretty cold. I'd recommend something like waterproof boots. So at least you're covered up to a certain point where you're not getting wet. And even the wet clothes that may be draping over your boots, such as like my jeans here.
Yeah, his pants or his boots actually come up to right here.
Yeah, my boots.
So when we were actually walking down here, because we were walking around in the water and stuff. So mine are leather protective. They're very good, not to the level that his are, but mine are low protective. His, on the other end, he will tuck in his pants and he can literally walk in this water stream because it's only about that deep, and his shoes absolutely cover.
Exactly, and that's a lifesaver. That's just a small thing that you don't think about to prevent stuff like hypothermia if you're out here in, maybe it's an SHTF situation, or maybe you got lost and you're trying to trek your way back home or something. It's just something you should try to be more conscious of if you live a lifestyle that may put you in the situation where you're stuck out in a place like this. Absolutely. And have to walk home.
Now, you have to remember, guys, is shoe wear, I know that they're not the most stylish things, but, you know, that's one thing that,
not the most stylish, hold on.
You look beautiful. You look beautiful. But, you know, guys kind of get away with it a little bit better than females do. You know, we can wear hiking boots, work boots, leather boots, snow boots, maybe not like snowboarding boots, but we can get away with wearing stuff. It's a little bit more of our style, a little bit more normal to see. For females, though, you know, you guys have that option too. You know, maybe get yourself a pair of cowboy boots that have a higher ankle point. You know, you can do things like, you know, wear hiking boots as well. You know, women, listen, when it's cold outside, no one gives a shit about fashion. Nobody. They're worried about staying warm. They're worried about looking cute in their little Uggs, which, you know, that's fine. But you know what? Those are even good too. You know, especially if you get certain ones that have, you know, a little bit more protective coating. My wife has a pair of, I think they're called like bear claws or something like that. They have not only a inner lining that keeps her feet warm, but they tread off snow really, really well. And they're still stylish, they're still cute. But you know, look at options like that. Try not to wear sneakers. Definitely don't wear open-toed clothing.
No sandals, please.
Yeah. Even if you don't deal with snow on a regular basis, you know, if you're living in a place where it gets below 40 degrees, you can have frostbite still set in for those extremities. So you really don't want to be messing around with open-toed shoes. Try to get more winter-appropriate clothing.
All right, but on that note, we're gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Please like, comment, subscribe if you like this one, and we will see you in the next one.
And don't forget, guys, death is the rule, but survival is the exception. You guys have a wonderful rest of the night, and we'll see you in the next video.